Welcome to Lineups and Lures, where the talk runs from the dugouts to drift boats. We're all about the games we play and the waters we fish, the stories, the rivalries, the moments that keep us coming back. If it happens under the lights or out on the water, we're in. This is Lineups and Lures. Well, we're halfway through the 2026 MLB season. 1 week until the All-Star break, and our Seattle Mariners are sitting atop first place of the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit different. I actually saw a tweet, X post, whatever you want to call it, and they were kind of comparing where the Mariners were at this year and last year with Cal Raleigh's stats. You know, last year he had 28 home runs, I think, at the All-Star break. We were 7.5 games up. This year, he's got 9 home runs. We're 3.5 or 2. Basically, now we're 2 games up in the American League West. So to be where we're at right now without our quote-unquote superstar, we're in a pretty good spot. And our pitching's starting to figure it out.
Yeah, I mean, I think you hit the nail on the head with a couple of things there. Yeah, let's come back to Cal in a minute. First of all, especially these last couple of weeks, the pitching staff is pitching the way we expect them to pitch. The starting pitchers are getting into the 6th, 7th. I think we even had someone get in the 8th the other day, and that helps.
But when you say that, is that a product of the 6-man rotation? Because having a 6th starter now means you get an extra day of rest, so you can extend them one more inning, another 10, 15, 20 pitches.
Yeah, I think I think that helps, but I think they're actually just pitching better. I mean, there's been a lot of starts this year where I can't remember how many times I've called you or texted you and gone, well, the first 4 innings were great, and then that little 6th spot in the 5th kind of killed us.
Wait, are we talking about youth baseball team or the Mariners?
The youth baseball don't get through the first 4 before they give up the 6th. They do that in the 2nd. So I think those guys are getting better. Look, when you get to big boy baseball, it's get to 500 by the All-Star break and then go put the pedal to the metal. Mariners are exactly where they think they need to be. I think the other thing we need to remember is Randy Rosarena's having a hell of a year. It's a contract year, so let's not get all carried away, but he's playing well. I think we're also seeing the growth of the Canzones, the Rayleighs, that, if you would have told me, before the season started, I would have told you we're going and getting a right-handed hitted right fielder.
Yes.
And,
we're still looking for one, I'm sure.
I'm not saying it's off the table, but those 2 guys are hitting the ball, and they're hitting the ball with some pop.
Do you know who's leading the Mariners in home runs?
It's Rayleigh, isn't it?
And Canzone.
Yeah.
And Julio, all at 14.
So, there's where the Cal situation hasn't hurt as much, but for us to go and make a deep run, and if we are going to hang with the evil empire and the Dodgers and whoever else on the National League side, probably the Phillies, we need our guy back swinging the bat, because he is STRUGGLING, and
it's not good.
It's not good.
The crazy thing for the average fan is you look at what he did down in AAA. He looked like a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he looked like he was back.
And then you go back and you face Major League pitching, and it just shows you the difference between the AAA level and the Major League level. Like, there's a big jump still in between those two.
Oh, it's
huge.
Yeah, it's the difference between guys getting paid $200,000 a year and $40 million a year. And there's a reason why. It's phenomenal. I think going forward for the Mariners, I think the key is just, A, stay healthy. B, I think the reality is we're still looking for a right-handed slugging power bat that could be some combination of third base, DH, or the outfield. We've kind of beat that drum. There's a number of options out there. It's really just a matter of what makes sense. And the other thing is maybe standing pat makes sense too. I mean, it's
Donovan's coming back.
Donovan doesn't give you any pop. He does give you a leadoff hitter, which is not nothing.
Yeah.
But I'd still like to have a right-handed hitter that could put the fear of God in the opposition pitching, and we don't got that one.
We don't have that one. And really, when he comes back, we got a log jam of 1, left-handed hitters and 2 right fielders.
Yeah.
Because
Randy,
unless we make a move in the infield and take Colt out, put JP back at short, and put Donovan back at third, you're basically got Canzone, Raley, and Donovan fighting for DH and right field.
Yeah.
Cole Young's not going anywhere.
Nope.
He's not going anywhere. So you're going to have 3 left-handed hitters, 2 of which are leading our team in home runs, both hitting pretty well. I mean, Canzone's hitting like 275. So he's not coming out of the lineup on a consistent basis.
One would hope not.
Raley's not. So, you kind of look at this and go, all right, if Donovan's back around the All-Star break or right after, trade deadline's coming up, it's got to be one of those 3 names, right? And who's going to bring the biggest return back? It's probably Donovan, followed by Canzone, just because of age.
Team control, all that kind of stuff. Look, I don't disagree with you. There's options out there, and this is where GMs get paid a lot of money to do their job. And I think for the first time in a long time, Seattle's in that unique situation of almost having too much talent. And now it's about, do we trade in versatility for that one guy that puts you over the edge? I mean, if we're looking to move Donovan, Crawford, Canzone, those kind of names, and maybe some farm system, it better be an all-star.
Well, it better be somebody who's taking us from an ALCS team to a World Series team.
There's a pretty good third baseman in Tampa Bay that could probably do that for us.
Oh my gosh, they're still like right there at the top of the AL East. Like they're not trading that guy.
He's a pretty good guy to have, though.
Yeah, he's going to put on a show in the home run derby, though. That's going to be fun to watch.
That is going to be interesting. Okay, so
not happening.
I think more realistically, look, there's been a few names thrown around. A reunion with Polanco has been thrown around. Also, I think the Mets are looking to sell, so you probably get him for relatively cheap.
And we have been known to bring back a guy.
And I've said this before, but there's a certain third baseman sitting in Cincinnati that solves a right-handed power situation problem as well. He just strikes out too much, but I wouldn't rule it out. I don't see Chapman as being the guy. He just hasn't been performing in San Francisco, even though he's definitely available.
Nope. What about Wilson Contreras? That name's been getting thrown around. That guy's been in the headlines quite a bit here recently, with some antics on the field, and obviously what happened with the earthquake in Venezuela and everything. But that's another bat that the Red Sox got to sell some pieces off. So maybe that's a guy.
Yeah, and there's been some rumors in Houston that there are potentially some availability there.
Well, but that availability, like I saw an article that was tying us to Hader. That wouldn't be a bad bullpen upgrade.
No.
And Isaac Paredes, who first third base, I don't think he plays any outfield, but power hitting right-handed hitter. But why would the Astros trade within the division? I still don't see that happening.
Yeah, I disagree with you. I just think they have realized that they need to go and have a little 2-year, 3-year hiatus, rebuild, and that's why I think they're just looking for assets, and the Mariners have got plenty. So I think we've basically narrowed this down to we need a right-handed power bat at either third base or corner outfield.
Yes.
And probably another high-leverage arm in the bullpen if we're going to make a deep run.
So let's say we go and we make a trade for a Paredes or something to where it's a power-hitting third baseman. He's our new third baseman. What do you do with JP?
I think you have to have a conversation with JP, quite frankly. I get the feeling that he would rather be the utility guy and stay than be an everyday guy on a middle-of-the-road team.
Yes.
And if he's happy to do that, what a great guy to have in the locker room. I mean, he can basically, you could probably throw him at left field if you really had to. There's a guy that can play every day, will give you veteran at-bats, veteran leadership in the clubhouse. What a great mentor for our middle infield.
Cole, both of them.
Our middle infield. So I think that's a conversation to be had with him and his agent, and basically be like, look, if you are happy to play second fiddle to the young guys coming up, we'd love to keep you. But if that's not it and you want to play every day, then you might be on the block.
Yeah. Well, and let's not forget, too, we got Cole Young's only, 2 years? He came up last year, took over the job. Cole Emerson, this is his first time at this level playing this many games. That summer wall hits you pretty hard as a rookie. And it's coming.
Yeah, and the nice thing is, even if he's not around, we still got Donovan.
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm saying is I didn't think, and I don't think the Mariners front office thought that they were going to have to deal with Colt Emerson this year.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he just arrived a year early,
yep.
Which, what a great problem to have.
It's not a problem. And then he comes up and he's actually performing.
These are first world problems. So,
yeah.
Look, one of them's probably on the block. And I think what would actually, if we are going to try to solve the power bat issue, I don't think Donovan is at a position in his career after coming off a Gold Glove utility guy. I don't think he's looking to be a 60, 70 game starter. He's looking to be a 140 game starter. So I think in that point, you got to turn around and get some value out of him. Roll with JP as your utility guy and your veteran leader in the clubhouse, and then you go and throw in Eugenio or Polanco. And then the other thing is we still got to figure out what we're going to do with our starting pitcher named Luis Castillo.
Well, let's talk about pitching in a minute. But did you see that they made a couple moves and promoted some guys from AA to AAA?
No, I did not.
So Celestin got promoted. He's an infielder. Kind of was meant to be the future behind Cole and Colt. So seeing him move up to AAA is a big deal. But
why?
Just see if he can do it, and then it becomes a trade chip.
That's about, the reality is we may not need to worry about the middle infield for the better part of 15 years.
True, but what if Cole Emerson turns into a third baseman and Celestin turns into your shortstop? It's all possible.
I get it.
That's not the name I want to talk about, though.
Okay.
They also promoted Montez.
Okay.
So our big swinging baby Yordan is now at the AAA level.
Well, and that's the thing. I think, you've always been big and high on him, and if he is potentially our right fielder of the future, do we go and just try to find a rental for right now, banking on the fact that he could potentially be day one starter? And then the other thing is Randy Arozarena our long-term solution our center fielder is not going anywhere.
No.
So are we going to pay Randy the kind of money that he's probably going to want in that 25 to 30 million AAV, I would imagine.
Especially after a bounce back year like he's having and an all-star.
And hitting in Seattle, not hitting in.
Yep.
So, he's probably going to want a 5-6 year deal, I would imagine, at his age. You could be looking at having to invest up to $200 million into him.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying he's not worth it, but
let's see how he does in the playoffs this year, because he was always known for being a playoff guy. And quite frankly, other than his on-base percentage, he didn't really do much last offseason.
Well, let's not poo-poo on-base percentages. But
that's a positive thing. He got on base. He just wasn't the power hitter that he normally is.
And we're looking for power out of that guy in the lineup. So,
well, considering I don't know what the exact number is, but the majority of our runs are scored via the home run. We need power. That's just the way the game works. But I'm excited to see Montez and see what he can do at AAA. And it's good to do it this early because now he's got a whole half a season potentially.
Yeah.
Hey, what if he goes and catches fire and continues having quality at-bats and showing – he could be a guy that's a September call-up kind of guy. He could be a boost down the stretch runs.
Could he be the next Andrew Jones and go and hit a whole bunch of home runs in the World Series as a rookie?
He could be.
So
you look at what's happening with rookies around the league. DeLauder, Bazana, Kurtz last year. Those guys can hit. They're coming in ready to go.
Think Trav's having any fun right now? That guy is just killing the world right now.
He is. He's an all-star. You going to go out to the all-star game?
No.
Somebody's got to get the Aussie.
Yeah, he's. I'm sure with the amount of money he's making, he can afford to fly a few buddies around.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just stay on the big leagues for a little bit, but just because it's a little Northwest flair. The Evil Empire.
Yes.
Need a catcher.
They do need a catcher.
And there has been rumors, of interest in a certain catcher from Sherwood High School.
Absolutely. Why would Baltimore trade him? What would you have to get in return to make that deal?
Well, I think that's the real deal. You know, they're going to have to pay him at some point. Like, they haven't paid him yet.
Correct.
And what is he going to be, ARB 2 next year? No, ARB 3 next year.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, at some point you got to pay the guy.
I mean, he's still making $8 million a year. That's what he got in arbitration this year.
I thought he was getting more than that this
I think
year.
I think he's getting 8.
Well, it's not a bad.
And what was Cal's, like 15?
No, Cal signed his 6-year, $104 million deal, so that's just shy of 20.
Okay. So he's not that far off. He's working his way up through arbitration.
Yeah, but
3-time All-Star now.
Yeah, but he don't have a guarantee at the end of it. That's the
Bounce
difference.
back season, putting up some numbers. The home runs still aren't there. He's only got like 8 or 9.
No,
so
I'm
he's doing
with
what
you.
he needs to do.
What I'm asking is he going to be a Yankee?
I don't think so.
Okay.
And I don't even know if that's their first choice.
Well,
Because if I'm the Yankees, I'm calling up Colorado. And I'm going, what's it going to take to get Hunter Goodman? Because that's a young, controllable catcher. We don't have to pay him. Probably have to give up 3 to 4 prospects because the Rockies don't want major league guys. So now all of a sudden you don't need to give up. Well, you might have to give up either Spencer Jones or Jackson Dominguez for him, but that's a young catcher who's lighting the world on fire right now.
well, do they want a young catcher or do they want someone with a little bit more of a veteran presence for a deep playoff run?
That is the question.
And I got to tell you, even though I love the idea, but if I'm the Yankees, and I got to tell you, as much as I hate to say it, walking into Yankee Stadium is a little bit different than walking into a lot of other buildings.
It is.
Yeah, there's a few ghosts flying around in that outfield that, you know, there's something about those pinstripes that's the real deal. So personally, I think they're probably looking for someone with major league experience and a veteran
He
presence.
has major league experience. The guy's an all-star. He's Colorado's all-star this year. I don't know the exact numbers.
How old's the kid?
Well, he's got controllable years. So,
He's not that.
but it's similar to like a Garrett Crochet trade for Colorado. Like you can get 4 prospects that are a year or 2 away. You're not winning anything. Why not trade this guy who's having a great season? His value's never going to be higher.
I'm not saying they shouldn't do it. I'm just not sure the Yankees are their suitor.
Who else has the prospects and are willing to dump all those guys to make that run?
Hey, I was talking about Adley in Baltimore and New York. I don't know who this guy is. I wasn't prepared to talk about that.
I think Adley should stay in Baltimore because I'd really like to see that team get a starting pitcher or two and really make an honest run at it with Gunnar, Jackson, Adley, Colton. I mean, that is a roster built to win
Yeah.
right now
Yes.
with no pitching.
Well,
0. And it's not like they're spending money on all these offensive players. They haven't been paid yet. So what's it going to take to get some arms in Baltimore so that they can try to do it? Because I still don't feel like they've given it an honest, fair run at it with this group.
they haven't because they had a little pitching and then the kids weren't ready. Now the kids are ready and they don't have any pitching.
Yeah.
Look, at some point you've got to make a decision. Kind of like the Mariners had to make a decision where, 22, 23, we were sitting, you and I had hundreds, if not thousands of competitions. Like, when are we going to put our chips in the middle? When are we going to do this?
Yeah.
And I think even both of us just being around baseball long enough was smart enough to go, our pitching isn't quite there yet. We're a year away. And obviously last year the GM pulled the trigger at the break and went and got the 2 best available bats in baseball.
And we got close.
And
Very
we
close.
were and so, I think Baltimore has to decide when they want to pull their trigger. And they're going to have to try to navigate the New York Yankees because unfortunately they are the New York Yankees, and you're going to have to try to find a window when they're down.
Yeah. Well, it should be interesting. I mean, you got the All-Star game coming up. There's always a lot of discussions that happen at the All-Star game with players, especially.
Sure.
I mean, you want to tell me Aaron Judge isn't walking over to Adley going, man, you'd look really good in pinstripes. You should really come join us.
Yeah, and I think Judge isn't Schlittler going to be there as well, and
Oh, yeah.
Cole, and
these guys are going to be going around and, testing the waters.
if Garrett Cole comes over, puts his arm around Rutsch and goes, "Hey, bud."
I want to throw to you for the next couple of years.
Let me take you out to dinner. Let's go have a chat.
Yeah. You could see that stuff happening. So maybe there'll be some traction coming out of the All-Star game. And then in the trade deadline, like August 1st this year, it's a little later.
Yeah, I think everything's been pushed back a little just because of, didn't we start the year like a week later this year as well no, maybe that's not true. Anyway, we'll come back to that one.
Yeah.
So one last thing, and this is kind of a curveball, but I read an article on it the other day. There is the proposal of, if expansion does happen, of the major realignment of teams across the country to a much more, how should I put this?
Geographically friendly.
That is a great phrase. How about we just start putting quotations around that? Geographically friendly.
Yes.
Which, I mean, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, and who was the other one they threw in with us? Did we get Colorado or did we get I think we got Colorado.
I think we got Colorado.
Well, I'm in.
I mean, it's not bad. That's a winnable division.
I mean, I'd prefer Arizona over Colorado, but that way.
But you get the LA team, San Diego, West Texas.
Yeah, but then I got a place to stay.
True, that is true. So, what do you think? I mean, what do you think about completely throwing the tradition of the American League and National League teams out the window? Because you've seen some realignment things that when they first started talking, and it was like, all right, we're going to swap this team and this team, or two teams. That's not a big deal. Like, you've had some teams move back and forth before, but we're talking a radical, completely different American League, National League. And does it even matter anymore when you play interleague baseball all season long?
Well, and that's the point I was going to get to. I mean, it's one thing in football when the Cowboys play the Giants or the Cowboys play Philly or the Seahawks play the Niners or the Seahawks play the Rams. It's a big deal. But when you play 162 of them, and as you mentioned, you're still going to play these teams. And I'm sorry, but rivalry games in baseball, until the playoffs, I'm not sure how. I mean, even the Red Sox and the Yankees, I mean, if they're playing each other in May, it's not like they're sitting there beaning somebody because, it's a long season. Everyone knows the deal.
Yeah.
The Yankees and the Mets, back in the day, the Giants and the A's. I mean, it's just, I think what would be better for the sport would be geography, because now you could actually have visiting fans actually consider going to go watch some away games that are a lot closer. I think it also helps with the players and travel, because that's just a real thing.
But you don't hear any of these complaints coming out of the East Coast teams, which is where the majority of teams are.
Because they don't have any travel problems.
Exactly. So this is like a strictly West Coast
I mean,
issue.
if you think about it, Baltimore, D.C., Philly, New York, Pittsburgh really ain't that far away.
Yep.
Boston. There's 7 teams that you could probably all just drive to.
Yeah. What, 2-hour flights?
No, they're like 30-minute flights.
At the most, 2 hours.
No.
Really?
New York to Boston's a 2.5-hour train ride. I've done it.
Yeah.
That's the furthest one away.
I don't know. I like the traditional aspect of having the Yankees in the American League and the Mets in the National League. Those sorts of things.
I get it. I do. And
that's what, you said Giants and A's. Giants were in the National League, A's were in the American League. So when those two teams played each other, it meant something, because it didn't happen all the time.
Yeah, but now it does.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen as frequently. So, you're only getting 1 to 2 interleague series a year with each team. If you completely realign like that, let's say you're what is it right now? 15 games with your own division. So you're probably playing 4 series against those guys. I think that just takes some of the historical aspect out of the game.
Your point's not without merit, and I'm not even arguing it. I just, in today's day and age about money, TV, all that kind of stuff, I think it's probably a better move for Major League Baseball, but time will tell.
Well, and let's not forget, you mentioned Portland in this. It's not going to be Portland. It's Utah. So you're going to be looking at Seattle,
So Utah and what?
Colorado.
Who's getting the other team then?
Nashville. Yeah, it's Nashville, Utah for sure. The only thing, the wild card could be Montreal.
Why are you look? And I've got my reasons, but you've just thrown Portland completely off the table.
Yeah, we've been a pawn this entire time. I've been steady in that. There's not enough money. There's not enough support. Look what's going on with the Blazers right now. What major league? You really think they're going to want to bring a major league team here when we can't even support the Blazers?
Well, the public supports the Blazers. It's just the idiots we've got in government that
the people that own the stadium that don't want to pay for renovating the stadium that brings in multiple more $1 million than it's going to cost to renovate the stadium. But let's not get on that.
You know the stupidest thing they did? They actually bought the thing from Paul Allen.
Yes.
If they would have just said no, he'd be writing a big-ass property tax bill every year. But they forgot about that.
And how much did they pay for it?
Didn't they pay $1?
$1.
Yeah.
So you own an arena that makes you millions of dollars. That place is full every single night. Concerts, monster trucks, everything. Hockey, basketball, women's basketball.
Hold on a second. And don't forget about the state income tax you get from everybody that comes in to the state as well.
Yes. Utah. There's land. Have you ever been to Salt Lake?
I've been to the airport. Lovely airport.
Salt Lake is awesome.
It was actually very nice. I came in the wintertime. All the snow was on the mountains. It was actually quite pretty.
Yeah, I've done it more in like the late summer, so not a lot of snow. But Salt Lake they just got their hockey team. They have great college sports. It's an up and coming. It's a young town. The land is there. There's more money than they know what to do with in that city. The guy's ready to build basically an Atlanta-style stadium entertainment district and redevelop this entire thing. Summers are wonderful in Utah. That's where it's going.
After a long day on the water or hard training session, your muscles are tight, your body's worn down, and just sleeping it off doesn't cut it anymore. Where guys go to actually recover. Real therapeutic massage, infrared or traditional sauna, red light therapy, PEMF, and compression. Everything your body needs to stop hurting and get back out there. The same recovery tools the pros rely on, right here locally. No membership required, no commitment, just show up and feel the difference. Solvita Wellness Spa. Find us at solvitaspa.com or on Southwest Barrows Road near Progress Ridge and Tigard. Your body did the work, let us handle the rest.
Hey there, I'm Chad with Jackson Painting and Remodel, and if you're looking to give your home a fresh new look, you've come to the right place. Whether you need a bold new color for your living room or a fresh coat to brighten up your home's exterior, my team and I have got you covered. We specialize in both indoor and outdoor painting, using only the best materials to make sure your space looks amazing and stands the test of time. If you're ready to transform your home, visit jacksonpainting.com. I'd love to come by, chat about your ideas, and give you a free estimate. At Jackson Painting and Remodel, we don't just paint, we make your vision a reality. Again, visit jacksonpainting.com or call 503-620-2600.
Well, staying on the topic of baseball, we've had a busy summer so far this year.
You don't know the half of it.
So for those of our listeners that don't know, I'm coaching our 18U team for Portland Baseball Club this summer. So I've been about 25 games into a season right now. And Webby here is coaching our 15U team, which, on paper, it has a pretty light schedule, just playing on weekends, just playing tournaments. But it's a mental and physical grind, isn't it?
Well, everybody sees the weekends, but as we were just discussing, this is the next 6 days of, 6 days of my life.
Yes.
Kid has a doubleheader in Hillsborough tonight, one at the high school Wednesday, doubleheader at the high school on Thursday for the high school team, and then we got a doubleheader on Friday, I believe.
Yes.
And then Saturday will be dependent upon how Friday works.
At least one.
At least one. And then Sunday could be 2 potential.
I think it's at least one for sure.
But there's no way it could be 3 though, right?
No.
2.
No.
So basically,
it's not a 12U tournament.
So basically we're looking at 10 games in 5 days.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a really good thing Grant doesn't pitch. Because that's a lot of baseball in a couple days. But we don't need to talk about pitching situations.
It's not necessarily even individual kids in general. It's just all of it going on.
It's a lot. But, your team's off to a weird start. So you're 4-9 on the season. But you just got done playing a 5-game tournament where you averaged 10 runs a game scoring.
Yes.
Averaged.
Yes.
An 11-10 loss, an 11-10 win. It's 15U baseball at its finest.
No
lead is safe.
I think you and I have had many a conversation in the truck ride home from our respective fields over the last few weekends, and I think most of us have used the term Jekyll and Hyde to refer to our teams that for the first hour of a game, it could be either one because it doesn't necessarily go one way or the other.
Yes.
I think on the Sunday game, I was ready to dump the bench. I think we were down 9-1 at one point. My pitcher in the first inning, gave up 8 runs in the first inning.
Yes. Bottom of the first, he gave up 8.
Yeah. Now, in his defense, I think he did get 7 or 8 outs in that inning.
Yeah.
So it wasn't completely on him. And trust me, we've had plenty of other weekends that this has happened, but the kids' ability to, at some point, look like kids that you go, that guy's going to play college baseball, to making 3 errors in an inning.
Yeah.
And you just scratch your head going, I have no idea how to coach this.
Yeah, what do you so our 16U team has a kid that has the yips right now. He can't throw the ball from second base to first base. From the position of second base to first base.
Well, what did they do in the major? Does he have to read Playboy's Playmate of the Month or something?
Exactly.
Take long walks on the beaches or something
find some way to distract himself on a throw. But you just never know what you're gonna. Every day is a new adventure.
Yeah, no, it's it's a lot of fun out there and having a blast. But I think the most important thing, though, in all seriousness, is that these kids are outside. They're exercising. They're hanging out with their buddies. They're being kids. They're playing baseball. They're doing everything they should be, and they're not sitting at home. Idle time and idle hands is never a good thing for teenage boys. So,
no.
With all the interesting things that come along, I'd still rather have those kids out there playing baseball than sitting at home doing nothing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we got to spend the 18U team spent the 4th of July down in Eugene at the Papa's Pizza tournament. So.
Okay.
It's always good to have that kind of road trip tournament too, where the guys are hanging out in hotel rooms or Airbnbs now, playing poker, going to the rodeo, doing fun stuff as long as they do it the right way.
Well,
it's been done both ways before.
It has, and you know what? It will again in the future.
Absolutely. So, part of the piece to this is making sure you get a group of kids that are the right kids to be able to do this, and it makes the summer a lot more fun when. You tell them, hey, you got to be there at 12 for a 1 o'clock game, and your whole team starts showing up at 11:30 just so they can hang out together.
Yeah.
That's when things are going well. Win or loss, it doesn't matter at that point.
Yeah, and I think the good thing is even though we're starting to get especially you at the 18U level, it's you're the best guys play. Even at my level at the 15U, the best guys is definitely getting a predominant amount of the innings.
Yeah, more opportunities than others.
Absolutely, and then you're starting to get the situation where some kids are seen essentially as pitchers only, and sure, we try to squeeze them an at-bat in here and there to make them feel part of the club, but it's been great, like you said, having a group of kids that show up that they're for themselves, and unlike, maybe sometimes the high school season where I think kids are kind of jostling for position at all times, I think the fact that these guys kind of have played with each other, most of them for a number of summers, and they kind of know where everybody plays and who's going to play where and who's going to do what. And I think there's more of a camaraderie, and that's great to see the kids kind of being there for each other. And
Well, yeah, because as you advance through this game, it's once you get out of high school, you are playing for a team. Your college team is trying to win a baseball game, but in reality, you're trying to beat out the guy whose locker's right next to you. And I was talking to a couple guys and like pro ball and stuff, and it's like, what's the biggest difference between college and pro ball? And it's like, I don't have any friends.
Yeah.
If I'm an infielder, I might go hang out with a pitcher or two, but my other third baseman or the shortstop or whoever,
he's the enemy.
I'm not hanging out with him.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything I can to get ahead of him because I'm trying to get to the next level.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get paid.
Yeah.
So it's a different atmosphere for sure. So, you just got to enjoy it when you're at these 12 to 18-year-old ages because, Pat Bailey once told me they were recruiting guys and they wanted to go play in the West Coast League for the summer, a high school senior. And he just looks at him and goes, this is your last chance before baseball's a job. Do you really want to go spend your entire summer sitting on a bus, traveling all around the Northwest, 6, 8, 9, 12-hour bus rides? Or do you want to live at home, hang out with your friends, go play baseball with your buddies, and then when you get on campus in the fall, now it's a full-time job? I'm voting to stay home and enjoy one last summer, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I can see it both ways, and I got to tell you, at that age, I'm probably the kid that chose to go on the bus, but that's I don't know. I can see it both ways, and
yeah. Well, so before we get off, you got any funny stories that have come up from the season so far? Or not even funny, but just head shaking moments.
God, we've had a couple. I mean, I'll leave the names out of it, but this weekend we had two kind of interesting situations. So I've kind of run the same middle infield for basically most of the season and decided my shortstop has even himself was like, I'm just not hitting it. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to move him to third base for a day.
Yeah.
Let's just see if we can't mix this up a little bit. Yeah, and I think the kid ended up going 3 for 4 on Sunday, by the way. So he might be playing third base again this weekend, whether he likes it or not. He keeps going 3 for 4. He's playing third base.
Yeah, change of scenery is not always the worst thing.
Not always the worst thing. And I actually dropped him a spot in the lineup, and not as a punishment, just as a mix it up.
Yeah.
Anyway, so we bring in this other kid to go play second base, and he hasn't played a lot in the infield. One of his first opportunities of the day was like a week. Like the guy got jammed, and it was like this weak pop up over between kind of over the first baseman, and he slides and tries to make this catch that almost looked like he was catching a football, like he was fair catching a punt. Wasn't exactly sure what was going on there, and he dropped it. I'm like, all right, yeah, you guy in your position, whatever. Over the next 4 to 5 innings, he proceeds to make 7 or 8 baseball plays that I'm not sure some college second baseman would have made.
Yeah.
And he comes off the field off one of the innings, and I got the biggest smile on my face, and I look at him, and I'm just like, how on earth can you go ahead and make those plays, but you couldn't make the easy pop-up catch? And he's laughing, and I'm laughing, and he's just kind of shrugging his shoulders. And it was actually kind of a nice moment, right? Like, he's like, he understood that I was, having some fun with him. I certainly was not, angry or whatever, and I was celebrating the fact that you can go and make those plays. Come on, you got to make that one too.
Make the routine one too.
Right?
Yeah.
So, we had that kind of moment. And then, another moment we had this weekend was, you have a kid that pitched Thursday and Friday, and I don't think he pitched more than 10 or 12 pitches on either of those outings because he just couldn't find the strike zone. And then on Sunday comes out and throws 4.1 innings, gives up 1 run, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and I literally am like, okay, how is that the same kid?
Yeah. Well, because they're 15 years old.
Because they're 15 years old.
They change a lot between Friday and Sunday or Thursday and Sunday every week. You never know what you're going to get.
So I'm trying to figure out, what did you eat for breakfast this day? What did you eat for breakfast on Thursday? Are you wearing a special pair of socks or something? Like,
yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So I got one to finish up here. So you ever know that, there's always that spot in the lineup where it's just hard to fill.
Oh, yeah.
And whatever number, it could be the 5 spot. It could be the 9 spot.
Yeah, it's normally 7, 8, 9. Let's be honest.
I don't know who to put in my 7 hole because somebody gets hot and I move, one of my 8, 9 guys gets a little hot or something. And
Okay.
I'm like,
Does your 6 guy have wheels?
Yeah, decent. I mean, I kind of rotate my 6, 7, 8 guys around because whoever I put in the 7 hole is rocking an over. So I had one guy I put, has been hitting in the 8 spot for weeks, putting good at bats on it. His timing's getting better, starting to hit some line drives. I'm moving up to the 7 spot. 0 for 3, 3 punchies.
It sounds to me like if there's someone you don't like very much, you go and plug him in the 7 hole. And
that's why I've been rotating guys through, because I just can't find that one guy that's like, I'm going to take ownership of the 7 hole.
I mean, if there's a guy you don't like very much, go and plug him in the 7 hole for the weekend. He goes 0 for the weekend, and then you can bench him. And I don't know.
No, you can't do it for the whole weekend because that'll kill a kid's stats for the whole summer. 1 through 5 is pretty well set. Those guys know where they're playing. They're in the lineup every day. 6, 7, 8, 9 though is it's been a struggle this year because I've tried them all in the 7 spot, and it just seems like there's a curse on that spot.
I think you and I have a similar situation because I go 1 through 6 pretty easy as well.
Yeah.
Sometimes 1 through 5, depending on a certain player's availability. But
yes.
Yeah, that 6, 7, 8 hole. Valley of death.
It's rough right now. So I'm hoping somebody can, like I said, take ownership. There's 3 weeks left in the summer. It's an open spot. Who wants to win the 7 hole?
Yeah, no, it's almost like who wants to suck the worst?
Exactly. Could you just put balls in play? I'll take that over a bunch of punch outs.
Can you get a bunt down? Can you drag? Can you
What's a bunt? What's a bunt? These kids don't bunt.
Mine do.
Yeah, yours do.
We bunt a lot.
Yeah, these guys don't bunt.
Well,
even my 3-hole hitter is going to a JC. He's like, yeah, I don't bunt. Like, you're about to bunt. You're going to a JC. Get used to it.
And what they don't realize is that one of the most successful baseball programs in college over the last 20 years bunts a lot.
Yeah, you better be able to do it.
And it don't matter if you're in the cleanup hole or not. You better be able to put a bunt down if the boss asks you to do it. So,
yes.
Yeah.
I know a certain first baseman a couple years ago at that program that he was in the lineup every day because he could bunt.
Yeah.
Play a little first base defensively pretty well, but he could get a bunt down. He could move a runner when he needed to, and that keeps you in the lineup. So practice it.
So I got one last question for you. I want to get your take on this.
Okay.
What is your feeling, and only in high leverage situations late in the game, on intentionally walking runners in junior baseball at the high school level?
At the high school level, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. 14U, absolutely. 13U, I start feeling a little questionable about it. 12U, I hate it.
Sure.
But I still do it.
But once we get to the high school level, you're playing big boy baseball. If you're trying to set up a double play or whatever or force out, that's absolutely in line.
Yeah, I mean, I keep a little coach's card on me, so I basically keep score and have notes on all the opposing players, and so I'm looking. I'm always 3-4 batters ahead anyway. So if I got a runner on third on a 1-run game or tie game, I see that 3 hitters ahead, I got a chance at a strikeout, or he's rolled over 2 balls on the day. Yeah, I'm walking him. It's a little harder when you can't necessarily trust your pitchers to throw 3 strikes in there, but you got to give them, the goal is to put the kids in the best opportunity to win.
Right.
So that is, also it's a good learning experience of, hey, there's 1 out, bases loaded, you better come throw strikes.
Yeah, and I think the other thing is that I think it brings a certain, level of coach on the other side to go, maybe not so much at the 18s, but still at the 15U. I would say a third of my lineup, it's an automatic steal of second base.
Oh, yes.
So I now have to be cognizant. If I'm at the top of the lineup, do I steal to stay out of the double play, or do I keep my guy at first base so they don't walk my guy with first base open?
Well, technically, second base is still open.
No, if I steal second base.
Yeah, but second base was open. He had to be able to steal to go to second. So,
yeah, but let's
just saying that this one drives me crazy. If there's a base open, it doesn't matter if it's first, second, or third. A base is open. So if you need to put a guy on to get to the next guy,
no, but
you have a base open.
Right, but there's a difference between when the guy's already at second base, the lead runner's already at second. Now you're putting the guy on a setup, the force play at third, second, and first.
True.
If the guy's at first, I'm going to think a little harder about intentionally walking first and second. I've already got the double play in order. I don't need to walk him there.
So this is where at like the 12U, 13U levels, if it's first and third and you decide to steal second, now I'm putting you on.
Unless it's like the 9-hitter. Yeah, probably.
Yeah. Now I'm probably putting you on to get the force out.
Absolutely.
Because you just forced my hand to do that.
Yeah.
So you kind of asked for it at that point.
Perfect.
All right, since we're talking about this then.
Okay, here we go.
When do we bring in the fifth infielder?
Okay. I am not afraid to do this. I think I even did it. I think I even called in at college a couple times. I did this.
Yes.
I think I think this is a bottom of the ninth, bottom of the seventh type situation.
Oh, for sure.
And at that point, even if there's nobody on, if you've got bases loaded, nobody out, I probably roll in the dice.
Yeah.
I mean, because here's the deal: at that point, when all you need is a sac fly, I'm playing my outfield at such a shallow level anyway, where basically if it's over your head, they're scoring anyway. So I am. Yeah, and then the only question then becomes, do you kind of play poolside? Do you just play two guys in the gap? Now, I guess the higher level of baseball where you can dictate by location of the pitch to where you can dictate your outfielders, that's one thing. At the 15U level, there's no chance I can dictate.
No.
But no, I'm all for it. I mean, I think that's baseball. It's a goofy play. It happens once a season, twice a season.
Yeah. So I got to tell you, COVID summer, I'm coaching the 12U team, and we're just playing. It's a late summer, midweek, just a friendly game against a team that we'd played a couple times already in tournaments. And they had this one guy who, if he hit the baseball, it was over our outfielders' heads. I mean, he just smoked baseballs. I put 5 guys in the outfield. I pulled my shortstop and my second baseman.
So what you play like
I just bitted a big old umbrella out there. And I said, hey, if you hit a ground ball, I'll tip my hat, because all you've done all summer is hit big fly balls against me.
And?
It worked once. And then the second time, I think he blooped one in or something. Because we were playing it was big shell.
5 infield, guys in the outfield?
Absolutely, yeah.
You guys need some better team speed in your outfield.
Well, I mean, it was COVID. We were having fun. The kid thought it was hilarious. The coach enjoyed it.
Wasn't 4 enough?
No. I'm telling you, I keep a chart. His spray chart was everything was a fly ball over the outfielders' heads all summer long. So the kid was a man-child.
Did you stagger the outfield where you had were they 5 in a in
Oh,
it
line? Was a 5 in an umbrella. Yeah, there was not 2 shallow guys and 3 deep guys.
What you could have done is run left field, shallow center, right field, and then run a deep right center gap and a deep left center gap.
I was challenging this 12-year-old kid to see if he could hit a line drive instead of a fly ball.
I mean, that's kind of like the old-fashioned 2-3 zone in basketball.
A little bit, yeah. If you can make a 3, you're going to beat me. If you can hit a ground ball right at where the shortstop would be, you got me. It's fun sometimes.
Junior baseball.
Yep. Never know what's going to happen. Well, we got a big tournament this weekend coming up. So, like I said, we got 3 more in the summer. And, it's going to be 80 degrees, which is perfect summer baseball weather. So
it is.
We'll take it. Thanks for listening to Lineups and Lures. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to rate, and share the podcast. It helps us reach more fans, more anglers, and more stories worth telling. We'll see you next time, whether it's out on the field or out on the water.